Jenna isn't the kind of adventurer who seeks out haunted woods or ghost stories. She finds peace in solitude. The quiet rustle of wind through the trees, the gentle crackle of a fire, the rhythm of nature. That's her kind of calm. Her YouTube channel reflects that energy. No jump scares, no overacting, just pure wilderness therapy. So when she planned her next solo trip, she chose a familiar patch of crown land she'd camped on before, miles from the nearest person. It was supposed to be another tranquil night, alone, with her tarp, her gear, and her loyal dog, Herb. Her tone was upbeat and welcoming as she walked her viewers through her setup. Sleeping kit, cooking gear, tarp, and simple bushcraft tools. For hours, everything went as expected. She chopped wood, dragged small logs across a river, and built her shelter while birds called from the canopy above. The forest hummed with life but felt safe until that strange shift in energy just before dusk.
I wasn't strong enough to throw the logs across the stream without them getting wet, and that's my firewood, so I had to carry them across. I did weigh the risk of me doing that. I know that the river or the stream is like very shallow, and I have extra socks in case I was to fall in. We did get all the logs across. Now that I have my firewood, I'm finding some fat wood. I'm looking for fat wood because the sap and the resin inside the fat wood is very flammable, and that's going to help me start my fire. Okay, there's a great example right here. It's easy to find fat wood when you look for like broken little nubs of branches like this, because when the tree is broken or like injured, it'll send all the sap and resin into the broken spot to protect itself from like disease or parasites or whatever. That little chunk of wood is going to be super resinous, and the resin is very flammable, which is what we want. That smells really good. That smells so good. So you can even see the sap basically dripping down the front of this, and this really warm orange color tells me that it's pretty saturated, so that's good. A lot of you are probably familiar with what this is. This is a bear resistant bag. So basically you seal it up, you tie it to a tree, and I believe it's like Kevlar or something that bears can't get into. Keeps your food safe from bears and smaller mammals and rodents and things overnight or when you're away from camp. So I put off getting one of these for a number of years because when I'm at actual campsites, they usually have bear boxes, and when I'm not, I would just be like hanging my food in the trees. Hanging food though has proven to be a pain in my butt over the years because especially in the area that I live, we don't have the kind of trees that allow you to hang a bear bag properly. When you hang a bear bag, it's supposed to be 15 feet from the ground, 5 feet from the trunk of the tree. And as you can see, everything around me is lodgepole pines, which are straight, thin, have very short, tiny branches. I did finally invest in the Ursac. Obviously not sponsored because I paid for it, but I'm using it for the first time today.
This was Jenna at her best. Calm, skilled, and entirely in control. But as the sun began to sink behind the trees, painting the forest in gold and shadow, that familiar peace started to unravel. The once friendly woods grew quieter. The wind felt thicker. Somewhere in the distance, something unseen seemed to move differently. Deliberate. Watching. A subtle tension crept into her voice as she adjusted the camera. This wasn't the kind of danger that made noise. It was the kind that made silence feel unnatural.
Okay, goodbye to the campsite that once almost was. I don't think I left anything. Barely got everything in my bag because I didn't like fold everything properly. I'm just trying to get out of here. I have half of my stuff in my food bag. It's gonna be okay. He's not here right now. Like, this is where he pulled out to, and he literally took a look at me and turned around and pulled out. But I know it was the same car. It was like a white SUV with a bag over the back of his window, and he turned around and I saw that same bag. So yeah, I'm out of here.
Earlier that day, while scouting for a potential campsite, she'd noticed something. A man in an SUV parked along the trail.
Just to explain what just happened there. This morning, I got here pretty early, and I pulled out to the spot that I thought was going to be my spot for the night, and I was getting my backpack, getting ready to leave the car, when this white SUV pulled up, and this guy walked out, and he walked up to my campsite, or where my car was parked, and he was like, "Hey, me and my girlfriend were here this morning, and I left something, I'm just going to go look for it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." But I wanted to wait inside the van until he got back out of the woods and left, so that I knew he wasn't, like, still out there, and that he wouldn't know where I was going to hike to. So I was waiting in the car for, like, a while, and it started to get suspicious that he was, like, out in the woods for that long. And so I walked up to his car, first of all to get the license plate, but also to see if his girlfriend was actually in there. But the windows were, like, heavily tinted to the point that I couldn't even see in. But I walked, like, up and around the car, so I would assume if the girlfriend was in there, she would have, like, saw me and been like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean? So I walked around the car, I couldn't see if there was someone inside. I got the license plate, and I went back to my car, and I just got a bad feeling from that. So I drove my van up to another campsite. I don't like, even if that man meant no harm, like, I don't like when somebody, especially a man, knows where I am when I'm in the woods alone, or knows that I'm in the woods alone in the first place. Obviously, my boyfriend always knows where I am and where I'm going, but when I'm out here, I don't like bumping into people, especially if it's just a guy on his own, because then he knows that I'm alone, and he knows where I am, and he knows that I'm vulnerable in the woods. I don't like that. So I was already on edge all day debating if I even wanted to camp out, but I basically, like I said, I drove my van all the way to a new spot. I hid it in the trees, and I hiked, like, away from my van, so I wasn't even on the same trail as I was, like, parked near. And then the rest of the day went fine. The sky was beautiful, the weather was great, I was having a great time out there, got a lot done. And then, like, 4 p.m. rolls around, and I see that same car. I know it was the same car.
He had pulled up close, so close she could clearly see his face. He didn't smile or wave, just stared. At first, she dismissed it. Maybe another traveler, maybe someone lost. But hours later, as she worked on her shelter, that same SUV returned. He parked again, stared again, then drove away. Jenna tried to shrug it off, but unease began to take root. That primal feeling when something just isn't right. And then it happened again. The third time. Same car, same stare. No words, no reason. That's when her instinct screamed, this wasn't coincidence. He wasn't lost. He was watching her. When she finally spoke to him, his excuse was flimsy. He claimed to be camping nearby, said his girlfriend was waiting, that he'd forgotten something. But something in his tone, in the way his eyes lingered, didn't add up. Jenna didn't argue. She didn't wait. She trusted her gut, packed everything up and left before the sun disappeared. Out there, miles from anyone, there's no room for hesitation. Later, one of her viewers left a comment that summed it all up. "Thank you for posting this, even though it wasn't the trip you planned. It helps to see how others handle fear. It makes me feel more prepared." That one message captured the real power of Jenna's story. Her courage wasn't just in leaving, it was in sharing. Because in the wild, the scariest thing isn't the sound of a twig snapping or an unseen ghost whispering your name. It's the moment you realize someone's been silently watching, waiting for you to notice. Maybe the man meant no harm. Maybe he did. But what's certain is that Jenna was alone. Deep in the woods. No cell signal, no backup, and no second chances if things had gone wrong. So remember, always trust your instincts. Even if someone seems friendly, even if it feels rude to walk away, because the line between probably nothing and too late is far thinner than you think. Davey's Dash runs a YouTube channel dedicated to wilderness camping and outdoor adventures. The kind that make you want to pack up and disappear into the woods for a weekend. His videos usually give off a calm, easygoing vibe filled with fresh air, nature sounds, and that classic camping spirit. In this particular video, the plan was simple. Spend a peaceful night under the stars with no tent, no hammock, just a sleeping bag and a mat. It was meant to be a quiet escape into nature, the kind of night where nothing could possibly go wrong. At least, that's what he thought.
Yeah, if you can see that orange cab up there, that's Mark and his daughter, Arizona. Yeah, nice father-daughter time out in nature. It's awesome. So hello guys, if you happen to be seeing this, sorry you didn't have stickers for you. I gotta put stickers in my wallet, man. I don't know why I don't do that. Anyways, this is what we're looking at. Give you a show of what I'm seeing. It's a beautiful day. I did get a little bit overheated because I was trying to push myself a little bit, and I ended up throwing up on the side of the trail, which isn't always the best, but at least nobody was around, so I don't even know why I'm telling you this, because it could have gone unknown. But I don't like these temperatures, man. Like 22 is like a hot day in Winnipeg, so I'm down here and this is, yeah, this is a little uncomfortable for me. But I think that's the Lynn River. I'm not sure. It looks beautiful though. So what we'd like to do, like look at this little spot down here. We'd like to find something like that, I think. But I do have a spot in mind, but
After trekking for hours, he stumbled upon what seemed like the perfect spot. A secluded patch of forest beside a gentle flowing creek. The sound of water trickling through the rocks was soothing, and the area was hidden enough that no one passing by would ever notice him. The place looked calm, almost too calm. He rolled out his sleeping bag, unpacked his gear, and settled in for what was supposed to be an easy, relaxing night in the wilderness, completely unaware that something unsettling was waiting for him in the dark.
all right, my friends, well, I've decided to stay here. This is a beautiful spot, and I know it's a beautiful spot. I didn't realize that this is where I was for a few minutes. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. There's only one little slight piece up there, right in those 4 trees, that you can see me from the trail. So pretty secluded. Love it. Like, just look at how beautiful this place is. So yeah, we have the pack strapped to the tree, and yep, as far as it goes, my camp is set. There it is. Kitchen, sleeping. So we have the my Coleman bag, and yeah, that's camp tonight. That's it. There's no tent, no tarp, no hammock, no. It's just me, the ground, and my nature. So pretty stoked for this one. Yeah, it's been real quiet down here because this is really in between nowhere.
By the time the sun dipped below the trees, the forest had fallen quiet. Davey crawled into his sleeping bag, listening to the soft rhythm of the creek. With the stars glowing faintly overhead, he slowly drifted towards sleep, comforted by the stillness of the wild.
So that's all I have for today, man. It's a little bit of a boring video. Again, I'm out testing some gear right now. It's just me, nature, and the sun going down. It's time for bed. I will see you all for coffee in the morning. Good night.
What was supposed to be a peaceful night under the stars soon turned into a real-life nightmare. Around 11 p.m., after finishing a few beers, Davey was deep asleep when the sound of crunching leaves pulled him awake. Blinking in confusion, he opened his eyes and froze. Just 10 feet away stood a man, holding a steel pipe in each hand, a headlamp blazing across the dark. Before Davey could react, the stranger turned off the light, vanishing into the blackness. Heart racing, Davey grabbed his camera and started recording. What he captured next would leave even ghost hunters speechless.
It's not that difficult to respect other people, is it? So start showing some respect if you want respect. Do you need my light to help you get out of here?
No.
No?
Ju-
You know how to get out?
Would you mind just giving me a few minutes? I'm still in my sleeping bag.
Why are you in your sleeping bag? You knew there's somebody in a tent here. You knew that. Do you think they're gonna feel comfortable falling asleep in the middle of the night with a stranger 20 feet away? Do you honestly think that? The answer is no. And you wouldn't feel comfortable either, would you?
All right,
No, you wouldn't. Fair enough. Fair enough.
My apologies.
That's fair enough, mate.
My apologies.
Fair enough.
I will push on.
I already got a hold of RCMP and told them to get over here and deal with their shit, because I'm sick of this bullshit, mate.
No, that's the homeless guy. All right, well, that's where I was sleeping. Until the homeless man with two goddamn steel pipes come walking into my camp about 10 feet away from me while I was sound asleep. Well, I guess we know who needs his teeth knocked down his throat now, doesn't he? But that will be a battle for another day. That is not our concern tonight. Our concern tonight is being somewhere safe and getting some kip. So, all right, well, I guess we're shoving off. But that mother had better watch the because all I should do is just got up and throttle him. But again, he had two steel pipes in his hand 10 feet away from where I was sleeping. And yeah, it's not gonna work for me right now, so let's just go.
Davey didn't stick around. He quickly packed up and relocated deeper into the forest, far away from that eerie encounter. Though he managed to survive the night, sleep was impossible. When daylight broke, he pieced together what likely happened. The man was a homeless camper who'd been living nearby and must have felt threatened by Davey's presence. Davey had unknowingly set up camp too close to his area, triggering a terrifying confrontation. Waking up to someone silently watching you in the dark, holding two metal pipes, is the kind of moment that makes your blood run cold. Thankfully, it ended without violence, just a heated argument. But it's a chilling reminder that sometimes, when camping in the wild, the real danger isn't the paranormal or some lurking creature. It's other people. Maybe they really should invent a people spray. Oh, wait. Maybe they already have. In this clip, terror takes center stage, shifting from a silent hallway straight into a chilling live broadcast. Paranormal investigator Ricky Velasquez accepts a dare to explore an abandoned house in Mexico, known among locals as one of the most haunted places in the region. His viewers taunt him, certain he won't last long inside. The building's sinister reputation alone is enough to make even the bravest ghost hunters think twice. Still, Ricky accepts the challenge and decides to stream the entire paranormal investigation live on YouTube. As he crosses the threshold, the door creaks open like a warning, and the air grows unnaturally heavy. He doesn't yet understand why this house carries such dark, demonic energy. But before long, he realizes the chilling legends may be horrifyingly real.
Ok, esto sí me huele mal. Oh, 18 minutos.
Ricky had been inside for barely a few minutes when the atmosphere shifted without warning. From somewhere deep within the structure, a loud metallic bang echoed through the darkness, shattering the eerie silence. His flashlight flickered, the beam shaking in his trembling hand. Instead of fleeing, Ricky pressed forward, drawn deeper into the unknown. The wooden stairs groaned beneath each cautious step as he ascended toward the second floor, unaware that something unseen seemed to follow close behind.
Hola. Ay, güey. Ok. Pero me ha tocado cosas más feas. ¿Qué es, un balcón o qué? Un balconcito. Qué a gusto está, ¿verdad? Ay, no mames. No, ya valí madre. Oh, la bestia. Se va a caer. No. ¿Qué pedo aquí? Ay, güey. ¿Qué mierda es eso?
Upstairs, the decaying floorboards moaned beneath his weight, threatening to collapse with every move. Ricky steadied himself, narrowly avoiding a fall through the rotted wood. But what unsettled his audience most wasn't the crumbling house. It was the faint whisper that rippled through the audio moments before the boards creaked. It was soft, almost swallowed by static, yet hauntingly distinct, like a voice trying to speak through the veil between worlds.
Qué a gusto está, ¿verdad? Ay, no mames.
Still on the upper floor, Ricky began to hear noises again. Slow, deliberate steps echoing just behind him. The rhythm was too human to be the wind and too close to be imagined. Heart racing, he spun around, his flashlight slicing through the empty corridor. Nothing. Only shadows shifting across the cracked walls.
No mames. Ok, creo que me está dando pánico. Aquí hay algo más.
He turned the camera toward himself, his breath visible in the cold air, the dim hallway stretching behind him. Then, once more, it came, that same chilling whisper, now clearer, closer, and undeniably real. The dreadful realization hit him. He was not alone. Yet, instead of running, Ricky steadied himself, whispering prayers under his breath, and ventured deeper into the hallway, stepping cautiously into the upstairs bathroom. The viewers watched in tense silence as the camera lens trembled in his shaking hand.
Hola. Empiezo a sentir helado. ¿Qué se escuchó? Hola.
Then, it happened. In the mirror behind him, a pale figure emerged from the doorway. A woman. Her features were swallowed by the dark, but one horrifying detail pierced through. A single white, lifeless eye staring directly at the camera. The sight sent shockwaves through the live chat as Ricky screamed and bolted down the stairs. His flashlight swung wildly, capturing fleeting glimpses of walls and shadows before he burst through the front door and into the night. The stream ended abruptly, clocking in at just under 30 minutes. To this day, no one knows whether what Ricky saw was a real ghostly manifestation, a demonic haunting, or an elaborate hoax. But even skeptics admit that the fear in his voice was unmistakably real. The live stream remains one of the most terrifying paranormal videos ever recorded. Toby Explores is a YouTube channel built on the beauty of simplicity and freedom. Its host, Toby, documents his minimalist, nomadic lifestyle, a journey shaped by the philosophy that less truly is more. For him, adventure isn't about conquering distant frontiers or scaling mountains. It's about discovering the world in its quietest moments, finding wonder in the ordinary. On August 25, 2025, after hours of hiking and searching, Toby stumbled upon a wide, open field where he'd earlier spotted a few trailers. The spot was exposed, but exhaustion pushed him to settle. He pitched his tent quickly, his modest home for the night, and switched off his torch to remain unseen. A small precaution, knowing that wild camping often carries its own sense of uneasy suspense.
Well, it's 11:30 at night, and I am on that big field that we saw earlier on today with the 2 containers. There is home sweet home. I am walking around, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but I am walking around to see if you can see the tent. That's zoomed out, that's zoomed in a bit more. You're not going to see it, are you? I really wish I could get you these night shots of the tent, but I know you guys understand that I can't shine a torch on it and stuff. It just, you know. Oh, look, a car just went past. How about that? It's so cool. It's like being in the studio. Right, anyway, I'm going to get inside. There's another car coming, so hold up. There it is. And the sea is just, if you're looking at that, to the right of hand side of the screen. So anyway, guys, night night. Oh, look, we got a couple of cars coming over. Oh, okay. I might get asked to move on here. Let's keep the camera rolling.
That peace didn't last long. As Toby began to settle in, the first car appeared out of the darkness. Its headlights swept across the field before cutting out abruptly. Did they see him? Or were they just stopping by chance? His pulse quickened. Within minutes, more vehicles began to arrive one by one, their engines humming through the night. It hit him. He had unknowingly set up camp in what seemed to be a local nighttime hangout spot. One car began to circle slowly, its movements deliberate, the headlights occasionally flashing across his tent. That was all the confirmation he needed. They definitely spotted him. Trying to avoid any dangerous misunderstanding, Toby stood up, revealing his presence in the beam of his own light, hoping to signal that he wasn't a threat, just a lone camper trying to sleep.
See, this is what's interesting. It's kind of just so real life. This is why I won't put a torch on, guys. They might not have even seen me. They might do now though, because they've just turned all their own lights off, so I might stand out a little bit. So I'm going to go. I'm going to get in the tent. Should anything exciting happen, then obviously I'll try and get that, share that with you. But right, I'm not going to unpack all my stuff because there is a lot of cars coming over. I don't know if there's some kind of thing that goes on here at night. They seem to be ignoring me, but I have no idea if that... Yep, here we go, look. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna get out just in case, so I don't want to get some lunatic driving into the car, so I'll let them know. I stand up so they know I'm here. It might just be people that are curious. Wow. Weren't expecting none of this.
But just when he thought the crowd was leaving, things took a darker turn. A car rolled back into the center of the field and parked directly under the open sky. Moments later, a motorbike screeched to a stop right outside his tent, its engine revving violently, echoing across the empty space. Then, another car sped up, spinning its tires and kicking up dirt just meters from his shelter. The laughter and shouts from the group grew louder, blending with the smell of burning rubber. For Toby, the situation had crossed from uncomfortable to terrifying. His tent was now fully lit by their headlights, the shadows inside flickering. When the occupants stepped out, their silhouettes loomed close, and for a few tense moments he wondered if he'd made a fatal mistake choosing this spot.
So there's a few people there just pulled over. They were making a load of noise. I'm bringing the camera away from there. I'm not trying to dramatise this at all, guys. I think you know that about me. But this car just started to do like lots of wheel spins outside the tent and that. They're about 50 metres away from me. They've got outside the car and they're just standing there just talking. And they're back in the car. And it looks like they're gonna go. And they're going. Wow. Beautiful though.
Toby somehow made it through the night without confrontation. As dawn broke, he sat outside his tent, reflecting on the experience. The risk he'd taken, camping in an exposed, easy-to-access field, had nearly cost him his peace of mind. In the morning light, the place seemed harmless again, and he realized the late-night visitors were probably just local youths looking for a place to hang out. Still, the encounter was a sharp reminder of a wild camper's vulnerability. A lone person inside a thin layer of fabric, blind to the outside world. When he packed up at sunrise, leaving no trace behind, he noted the irony. The secluded field he'd chosen for solitude turned out to be anything but. Though the sunrise was breathtaking, he knew one thing for certain. He wouldn't risk sleeping in such an exposed and haunted-feeling spot again any time soon. On March 20th, 2024, along the silent edges of Alligator Harbor, Florida, one fisherman decided to cross a line most wouldn't dare. The YouTube channel The Lawless Tide has built a reputation for testing limits, venturing into restricted marinas, off-limit docks, and murky, gray zones where curiosity challenges authority. This time, the mission was deceptively simple. Fish in a marina where it wasn't allowed, and document what would happen when man defied both rule and reason.
Tide's coming in, it's pretty high right now, so I've got pretty high hopes. Think we can catch maybe some drum or sheeps right here. We got our frisky fin sheep's head jig right here. This is my Ninja Dagger 7 foot. So we're gonna drop this down. We're gonna put probably, let's put two crabs on. Oh, there we go, we're getting a bite. Got him! Yeah! Ha ha! I knew I felt a sheep. Yes! I knew there'd be some here. Sweet! Not a monster, but I mean, he would probably be legal. That didn't take long. We're gonna let this guy go. Nah, you get back. So I see a guy pulling up in a golf cart from the marina, and I knew I was okay because I was fishing at that public boat ramp. He turned out to be a nice guy. We were just talking some fishing, but then I asked a question. Will they, if I kayak fish in here, will they run me out of there?
You can't come inside the basin. But...
Oh, so the only way they can keep you from fishing in a marina is if they pay property taxes on the land under the water. And the majority of waterfront businesses don't want to incur that extra charge. He didn't say anything about that. He just said they don't want people in there hitting boats with lures. So I made sure there were no signs up on the entry to the marina that said no trespassing or we own the land under the water. And that helped me decide that I was going to come back tomorrow at 5 p.m. after.
The day began calmly. Warm coastal air drifted across the harbor, carrying the cries of gulls and the low hum of distant boat engines. The fisherman cast his first line beside a seawall, baited with fiddler crabs, hoping for sheep's head or black drum. Within moments, he hooked a gleaming sheep's head, scales flashing silver under the sun, before releasing it back into the tide. That's when a man in a golf cart approached, a marina worker. He warned him that fishing wasn't permitted. Too dangerous near the boats, he said. The fisherman nodded and packed up, but the warning sparked something inside him. Later that night, he combed through Florida's fishing laws and discovered a loophole. Unless a marina owns the land beneath the water, they can't legally stop anyone from fishing there.
All right, good afternoon. We are back where I fished yesterday, but we brought the kayak today. So we're gonna go drop some fiddler crabs and see what this spot's holding. Oh yeah, that is good. What is that? Oh, that's a nice red. Oh damn, I should have netted that. Yeah. All right, let's try again. Got it. Another redfish, little one, little guy. Got a sheep. There we go. Got a sheep. And it's a micro sheep. There we go. All right. Got a cute little guy here. Let him go. Frisky fins rod, do your magic. Wasn't one of the big ones. Gosh, dog it. I mean, he's probably keeper size, but not what I'm looking for. Ah. What do we got? What is it? Another red? Yep, another red. Not what I wanted. Yeah, I knew there's another one over here. Come on. Man, where are the big boys? Wow, that was a good hook set. There we go. All right, decent sheep. Not a monster. Quick dash over here to try under these right here. We'll call it a night. Oh boy, that's another good one. I don't know if he's that big or just a fighter. Yeah. Yep, just a fighter. Jeez, that guy.
The next evening, as twilight faded, he returned, this time by kayak. The still water mirrored the fading glow of sunset as he silently paddled between rows of dark, sleeping boats. His line hit the water, and almost instantly, the tension snapped back. A massive redfish exploded from the surface, thrashing violently before breaking free. He cast again. Another hit. This time, the fight ended with a sheep's head so strong that one of its spines drove deep into his leg, streaking blood down the side of his kayak. But he didn't stop. More fish came, heavy, relentless, testing both his balance and his nerve. The camera caught everything: the ragged breaths, the trembling hands, the eerie silence of a harbor long after dark. Only the drip of salt water and the distant creak of mooring ropes broke the stillness. When the video went live, the audience split in two. Some hailed it as pure dedication. proof that passion knows no boundaries. Others called it reckless, a dangerous obsession with testing forbidden waters. One comment stood out: "No one owns the sea. You just have to be brave enough to prove it." Whether it was defiance or destiny, viewers couldn't decide. But for those who follow the Lawless Tide, one thing was clear. In these shadowed waters, the most haunting encounters aren't just about what's caught on the line, but what courage awakens when rules dissolve beneath the waves.